Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 8, New Year's and Old Fears. Now, if you've been following this show, it's on Bravo following 5 singles who meet up with a matchmaker to help find them love, and their love happens to be overseas and they've never met each other and they're going over on a leap of faith. So let's start off with, let's see who's the couple we're going to start off with. Let's pick back up with Sharaf and Gurleen. Now, last week we saw Gurleen get sent home by relationship expert Erica because Gurleen reached out to Erica saying that she was no longer happy, her mental health was taking a hit, and she just didn't know there could be a common ground going forward with Sharaf. So Gurleen is now at home, but one of the things that matchmaker Erica said is that she has now found a match for Sharaf or Sharayas. And I'm thinking, how did you find a new match for Sharayas already when Gurleen just went home literally the day before? So I'm thinking, so if you found a match for him already, is it Gurleen asking for like a second chance to see like maybe she can really make it work with Sharayas? I've been saying Sharaf, but I believe it's Sharayas. And so Sharayas is here for it. He's like, okay, you have a match for me. Well, who is it? And so before she says, well, but are you sure that you're ready? Because she goes, I want to make sure you cleared out all the extra energy, all the extra, the baggage that was going on. And then producers showed in the corner, there was still the Christmas tree up and there were still gifts underneath the tree. So I'm not sure if those were Gurleen's gifts or just Sharayas was just like, you know what, I'm just going to leave this here. I'll get to it when I get to it. But he says, yes, he's in a better place now. He respects himself. He's been able to go in deeper within himself to see, who he is and who he wants to be going forward. And he's ready to get rid of the negative energy he had with Gurleen. And then also, too, producers were, again, a little bit shady. They were showing Gurleen and Sharaf when they were out on the town, starting off with drinks and dinner, but then it turned into like an argument over whatever. And then Sharayas and Gurleen at his friend's house, his cousin's house, or whatever during the holidays. And even before the holidays, when she got there, just kind of like going back and forth with just having, I'm not gonna say disagreements, but different points of view with different people in the house every time she went somewhere. So yes, it seemed like every time they were either together or around crowd of people or people he knew, there was something that turned the tables that got them to a place where they felt like they couldn't get it back together. And so, well, Erica says, well, she's in Dubai and we'll have you meet her. And what do you think that your family will think? And Sharayas said that he feels like his family would be okay. He also feels that he's done everything he could do to make things work out with Gurleen, and he feels that they would be supportive of him and where he's trying to go in his relationship. So later when we see Erica again, is it Eric? Did she come back? Well, I had already mentioned she came back, but she told him about the match. So yes. So now it's the next day or however long after it is. Here comes the match. Her name is Gabby. And you guys, that's a screenshot because they didn't have her picture online. That is Gabby. Gabby is a CEO of her own company. She's from New Jersey. She says that she has been waiting and willing to meet her match. Although she's nervous, she's ready to meet Sharayas and to see, what they can do together, be that match and maybe be long-term. She says she's really waited a long time. Now, the difference with Gabby and Sharaf is that, or Gabby and Gurleen, is that Gabby came in with a bubbly attitude. She came in like, oh, hey, how you doing? Gave a hug. Just the energy that she gave off, because Erica was asking about his energy. So maybe I'm thinking she's saying the energy, you know, in her mind that Gabby is going to bring. Completely different night and day. So Sharaf is grinning from ear to ear. He seemed like he is happy with the match so far, but again, it's still brand new. Conversations light, they have a drink, it wasn't too awkward, and they just get to know each other. And so conversation comes up with, you know, how did your past relationship go? And Sharaf told her the truth. You know, what he said was really what happened. He said that him and Gurleen didn't necessarily get along. They had different issues going forward, and just, you know, the back and forth. So he didn't say anything out of line about her, in my opinion, but he did tell the truth. And Gabby said, well, you know, I'm kind of like sorry, but not sorry, but I'm happy to be in this position to get to know you better. And later we see them go out to a restaurant, just again, get to know each other and everything. And then towards the end of their scene, Sharaf, I keep saying Sharaf, is dancing, and he's dancing by himself. He's dancing with her. I mean, he's really letting loose. That is definitely something I did not see when he was with Gurleen, because maybe it just took too much effort. Again, that word energy, when it came to being around Gurleen, where he didn't feel like he can be open. So let's move to Dana and Brian. Now, Dana and Brian started at the beach in the morning. In the afternoon, he's teaching her how to drive, because in Europe, driving is different. I believe they drive on the right-hand side, and in America, we drive on the left-hand side. So it was a different experience for her trying to navigate the roads and actually the steering wheel. I could see how it would be different and maybe confusing to your mind to think that you're on the opposite side of the street, but you're going the right direction, if you know what I mean. So in the afternoon, in the evening time, they go to a Ferris wheel. They look like they're doing different types of outdoor activities. And I can see that they're trying. Well, especially Brian is trying. He's trying to get Dana to, I don't know, feel more comfortable. What he did say was that he's trying to invest in Dana's happiness, and he can see how happy she is just doing different little things, you know, being more social, and they don't have a lot of pressure going on. And so at the end of the evening, Brian and Dana sit down, and he's asking her, you know, how does she feel about everything? And Dana is being honest, and Dana's been much more honest and upfront, which I'm glad that she did, because in the very beginning, when she got there, I said in earlier videos that are on our channel, feel free to watch, that I thought that Brian was asking Dana the more in-depth questions, trying to get to see where her mind was and everything else, versus Dana in the beginning was more giddy, more girly on cloud nine, not really looking at the big picture. And then when Brian sidelined Dana, saying that he wasn't really into her like that because he's more into natural women, and just that took her off guard, that Dana has now reeled it back in, and she's put, you know, the brakes on for now and taken the friendship route to see how things will build. And so that's one of the things that Brian was asking her. He said that he knows that they got off on a rocky start, and Dana agreed that it did. Dana says she just wants to see where everything goes. She said she wants to be friends for right now, and I think Brian asked her, you know, for an open mind. They both talked about having an open mind, like open-minded for as far as the future goes. And then Brian said that he's looking forward to the future, and he feels that's why they've been placed together. And so then Brian said, well, watch this space. And Dana said, what? He said, yeah, watch this space. Dana said, what's that mean? And so Brian was trying to tell her that, you know, for the right now, watch what I do, watch how I move, watch how I work. And Dana was just kind of like looking at him like, like, okay. And so then Brian was like, so how about a kiss? Dana was like, not right now. And I'm happy that Dana is finding her voice and finding like who she is, because she knows, like I said, since she was blindsided, she doesn't want to go back down that road again where her feelings get hurt. And she just, you know, didn't know which route she's going to take. But she's being a good sport about everything right now. So let's move to Aaron and Mael. Aaron and Mael are out on the town today. They're going to Champagne, France to have champagne because it's Aaron's birthday today. And not Aaron's birthday today, excuse me. It's Mael's birthday today. Mael said he has a tradition of traveling for his birthday, and Aaron has kept that tradition alive. He says that he's happy and things are going to be great. And it's a beautiful day in a beautiful city. And you know what? I know that Mael has high hopes for Aaron and their relationship, but I'm just going to say it. I keep saying it every video. Maybe I shouldn't necessarily keep saying it because, you're supposed to root for the couple, but I just don't see the connection that Aaron is really giving to Mael. I think Aaron is just going through the motions because he's there. And honestly, they were both talked into staying, especially last week when relationship expert Erica was telling them, like, you're overthinking, you're rushing into the intimacy, so give it some time. So I think that they felt they were going to hit the reset button, but the way the day went, I don't know, makes me think about maybe one of them didn't really hit the reset button. So again, they're out on the town. They've made it to their destination for Mael's birthday. And Aaron set up a champagne tasting and looking at the vineyards for how they process the grapes or whatever for the champagne. And Mael is happy with that because, again, Mael is looking for effort, like looking for that spark. And so they both agree that they're enjoying each other's time, especially today since it's Mael's birthday. And Mael says to Aaron again, are you really enjoying your time with me? Is this what you really want to do? Aaron says, yes, it is. And, if Mael has to keep questioning him about it, maybe I don't know. It'll be up to Mael to make a decision regardless. So later on, in the evening time, Mael steps to the side and he says he hopes that Aaron is being genuine and that hearing Aaron say nice things to him is giving him hope to fight for the relationship. And I'm like, okay, it's giving you hope to fight for a relationship. Now, there are separate scenes that go along with this episode. Scenes where it's, like I said, the title of the show is New Year's Eve. So for New Year's Eve, so I'm not sure if it's still Mael's birthday or it's clearly around the same time. But at New Year's Eve, they're counting down. And let me just say this New Year's Eve, they're counting down from 2021 to 2022. So this show is over a year old. Well, as they're Mael and Aaron are sitting waiting for the clock to count down to 0 for yay 2022. Mael asks Aaron, so what is it that you want to bring in 2022? And Aaron says he wants to be the best me I can be. So then when the clock counts down, 10, 9, 8, 7, right? Happy New Year. So they get their champagne glasses and they drink. And Mael is waiting for the first New Year's kiss. Aaron is sitting there. He's like looking out into the distance, looking out in the crowds. And Mael is just staring at him like, this is really happening. He's not going to kiss me. And so Mael makes a comment. He goes, well, I guess not. And Aaron didn't say a word. So to me, that is, back to, did they really, or did one of them or both of them really hit the reset button? So let's move to Phil and Carmen. Now, Carmen has made it back home after a night or day of hard partying because Phil said he went out with Carmen, which he did. He went out with her and her friends. At about 3:30 in the morning, he came home. She came back with him, but then she went to go party somewhere else, and he hadn't seen her since. So he was calling and texting, and she didn't answer. But hey, Carmen is here today, and he's like, so, I really don't want to get upset about anything, but I'm upset. Like, where were you? I was calling and texting. You didn't answer. How come you couldn't? And Carmen says, yeah, I answered you, but, what's the big deal? Phil says, no, you didn't. She goes, yeah, you could go in there and look at my phone or go get the phone. He says, no, I don't want to look at the phone. He goes, you pretty much tell her she needs to have courtesy to at least text him back, call back to let him know she's okay. And so the conversation goes left, and Carmen says, you know what? You're being aggressive right now. Like, you don't need to be talking to me like this. Phil said, I'm not aggressive. This is just how I talk. So if that's how it comes across, I apologize. And, it's just me. So Carmen gets up, she leaves, and Phil's just sitting out there. And I'm not sure how much time passed. Didn't seem like it was very long. But Carmen comes back in. She says that, she doesn't want to argue, doesn't want to fight, and says that, listen, Phil, you don't live in a hotel. You just can't like call up and get whatever you need. Like, I have a life too. Now, I have a slight issue with that, because if you're on this dating process and regardless of who came over for who, you're both trying to get to know each other. Yes, you can go out with your friends and interact and mingle and show him around town and this and that. But you saying you have a life too, as if he's like there visiting on a regular tourist visa. I don't know if I necessarily like that answer, but it's up to Phil to accept the answer. But eventually they both came on the same page. They say they didn't want to argue no more. They vowed to squash it, put it behind him. There it is. So then later in the evening, Phil decides that he's going to go to a music studio to meet up with a person named Black, who happens to be one of Carmen's friends that's also a music producer. And he said that since he's in the music world too, he feels more comfortable being out. And also he wants to do something aside from Carmen, to get his own thing going. So he didn't have her feel like he's just a lost puppy there. And so he's in the studio, he's making beats. And you know what? The song is about about what's been going on in the relationship. I thought it was a nice song. I thought it was a bop. It was a nice beat. And I just enjoyed it overall. But while he was in the studio, he did ask Black and the other person there like about relationship advice. And I'm thinking they're not the right people, in my opinion, to ask about relationship advice, because that's her friend and they don't really know you. So kind of like putting them in your business isn't necessarily the right way to go, in my opinion. So after the studio sessions in the evening time, Carmen and Phil come together, they talk, and she asked where he's been. He said at the studio. She's like, oh, I want to hear. So he's like, no, I'm not sure if I want you to hear the song or not. But he finally lets her hear the song, and Carmen is picking up the words of the song about different little arguments and things that that they've been having. She goes like, are you asking me questions in the song or whatever? He's like, no, but overall, she liked the song. So I guess they're back on better footing. Now, when we saw them for their New Year's Eve celebration, they just had an awkward toast and celebrating 2022. All right, so let's move to Naim and Chandra. Now, when we see them again, Naim is asking Chandra about a banana peel on the sink and little trivial things. Is it me, or are they coming up with different little things to argue and go back and forth about regarding the miscommunication and the boundaries that they're overstepping? Well, anyway, Chandra said, yeah, it's a banana there, just kind of like, yeah, whatever. But then she said to Naim, so I need to talk to you. You're on a dating site. How come? Like, why are you disrespecting me about being on a dating site? And Naim didn't know what to say. He goes, I'm kind of shocked, and I didn't mean to disrespect you. Chandra said, well, you did disrespect me. And here we go again. It's the tit for tat kind of thing. Here we go with disrespect. Chandra just had her ex-boyfriend / the Uber driver take them out to the club. She invited him to stay at the club. The ex-boyfriend was dancing all up on her, even stayed in her house and even slept over. So disrespect is going both ways here. Well, Chandra said, well, you're here with me, so you shouldn't be disrespecting me like that. Like, why are you talking to other girls? And then she said like a little smirky remark. It's like, oh, you got mosquitoes around you. Did you wash this morning? So I don't know. Like, I think they also need not just a FaceTime with Erica, they need a one-on-one with Erica to see if they're going to continue on the road that they're on to with their relationship. So then it's the next day. Naim and Chandra are outside talking. She's asking him, so where have you been? So they had their New Year's, and they haven't seen each other since. Apparently Naim said that he was at the gym, and Chandra said, you weren't at the gym because everything is closed on January the 1st. Well, in confessional and in production, Naim was out on a date with his new lady he met on a dating app, and they showed her face, and they were out having drinks for the New Year. So that's where he was, someone he met on a dating app. Now, Naim said that he met her on the app while Chandra was out doing whatever she was doing with her ex-boyfriend, and doesn't understand why, or doesn't want Chandra to be angry, or they have miscommunication issues when she doesn't understand him. I'm thinking, regardless if she understands you or not, you went out with someone you met on the app. She was doing what she was doing. So if there's miscommunication issues, you're there just to be there, maybe till your visa run out. Maybe you ask the expert Erica, can you put your ticket in to come on home? Because they seem to be on two different pages. And yeah, the disrespect is there from each of them now, because Naim has done the tit for tat, dating someone and being out all night. So what is the point of the whole relationship with those two? So, well, that was the end of the episode. So again, it was New Year's 2021 to 2022, New Year's and old fears. And next week, we're going to see Chandra and Naim. They're going to, at least Chandra is going to be meeting up with the relationship expert Erica. And it looks like Aaron and Mael might be going through some other things too, which they normally are as well. So we'll have to see. Well, all right, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, leave your comments, and share. And until next week, thank you again so much for watching. Until next time, again, live simply, be grateful.